Hey learners, I am teacher Jean, your math teacher for this session. Our lesson for this session is solving quadratic inequality in two variables. And you are expected to be able to graph the solution set of quadratic inequality in two variables at the end of this session. So are you ready to learn? Let's start. What is a quadratic inequality in two variables? Yes, quadratic inequalities that involve two variables can be written in any of the following forms. First, y is greater than ax squared plus bx plus c. We could also have y is less than ax squared plus bx plus c. Y is less than or equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. And y is greater than or equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. Take note that a, b, and c must all be real numbers and a should not be equal to 0. Otherwise, if a is equal to 0, then you are going to have a linear inequality instead of quadratic inequality. There are 5 steps in solving quadratic inequalities in two variables. First is to write the quadratic inequality as an equation. Second is to complete the given table of values. Third, plot the ordered pairs in a Cartesian plane and draw a parabola by connecting the points from left to right. Then fourth, identify whether a point from each region satisfies the given quadratic inequality. And lastly, we determine the solution set of quadratic inequalities in two variables by shading. Let us find the solution set of y is greater than negative x squared plus 3. So the first step is to write the inequality as an equation. So therefore, we change y is greater than negative x squared plus 3 into y is equal to negative x squared plus 3. So we basically change the inequality symbol to an equal sign. Next is to complete the given table of values. So normally, you are given sets of values of x wherein you are asked to solve for the value of y. In this case, you are going to replace the value of x to the quadratic equation. So for example, if x is equal to negative 3, therefore you have y is equal to negative of negative 3 square plus 3. So that is y is equal to negative of positive 9. So you have negative 9 plus 3. Negative 9 plus 3 is negative 6. So y is equal to negative 6. If x is negative 2, we replace negative 2 to the x. So therefore, we have y is equal to negative of negative 2 square plus 3, giving us y equal to negative 1. If x is equal to negative 1, so you have y is equal to negative 1, negative of negative 1 square plus 3, so therefore you have y is equal to positive 2. If x is 0, so you have to replace 0 in the x. So therefore, you have y is equal to negative 0 square, so that is 0, plus 3, so we have 3. If x is 1, so you have y is equal to negative 1 square plus 3, so therefore you have y is equal to positive 2. If x is positive 2, you have y is equal to negative of 2 square plus 3, giving us y value of negative 1. And lastly, if y, or rather x, is 3, therefore our y would become negative 6. So this table of values will serve as, the completed table of values, I should say, will serve as a ordered pair, which are we going to make use for step 3. That is to plot the ordered pairs in a Cartesian plane and draw a parabola by connecting the points from left to right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 ordered pairs. You have negative 3 and negative 6, negative 2, negative 1, negative 1 and 2, 0, 3, 1, 2, 2, negative 1, and 3, negative 6 as our ordered pairs. So we are going to plot these points in a Cartesian plane and draw a parabola. So here it goes. So take note that your parabola is a dash parabola. We make use of a broken line and broken curve or broken line is used to draw the parabola whenever the inequality symbol is greater than or less than. So we have a dash parabola. Then step 4, we identify whether a point from each region satisfies the given quadratic inequality. So in the first region, or the region inside the parabola, we consider 0, 0, or out the origin. So in the first region, or inside the parabola, we consider 0, 0, or the origin, and substitute this to the inequality y is greater than negative x squared plus 3. Therefore, we have 0 is greater than negative 0 squared plus 3, giving us 0 is greater than 3, which is a false mathematical statement because 0 is not greater than 3, rather 0 is less than 3. So since it is false, the point 0, 0, or the origin, and all the other regions that comprise or containing 0, 0, or the origin is not part of the solution set, so we do not shade it. Basically because it does not satisfy the inequality. Our inequality y is greater than negative x squared plus 3. Next is for us to consider the second region, or the region outside the parabola. So we consider the point with an ordered pair 1, 4, and substitute this to the inequality y is greater than negative x squared plus 3. Therefore, we have 4 is greater than negative 1 squared plus 3, giving us 4 is greater than 2, which is a true mathematical statement. Since point 1, 4 satisfy the inequality, the entire region containing 1, 4, that is the region outside the parabola, as a part of the solution set, so we shade it. Therefore, we have step 5, determine the solution set of quadratic inequalities into variables by shading. So the graph will look like this. So we shade the parabola, the region outside the parabola rather. So take note, we make use of the dashed line, or the dash parabola, or the broken curve, meaning all the points along this parabola are are not part of the solution set. Okay, next we have y is less than or equal to the square of x minus 6. So the first step is for us to write the inequality as an equation. So therefore we have, we have y is less than or equal to the square of x minus 6 into y is equal to the square of x minus 6. So we change the inequality symbol less than or equal into an equal sign. Second step is for us to complete the given table of values. Okay? So if x is 3, our y value is 9. Why? Because 3 minus 6 is negative 3. Negative 3 squared is positive 9. If x is 4, we replace 4 sa x. So x minus 6 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. If x is 5, so we have 5 minus 6, that is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. If x is 6, so 6 minus 6 is 0. 0 squared is 0, so y is 0. If x is 7, so we have 7 minus 6, that is 1. 1 squared is 1, so our y is 1. If x is 8, therefore we have 8 minus 6, we have 2. 2 squared is 4, so our y is 4. And lastly, if x is 9, so we have 9 minus 6, which is equal to 3. Square 3, so therefore our y is 9. Since we already have completed the given table of values, we can now proceed to step 3. That is to plot the ordered pairs in Cartesian plane and draw a parabola by connecting the points from left to right. So take note that this time a straight curve or a curved line or a solid curve is used to draw a parabola. Why? Because the quadratic inequality symbol that is used is greater or equal to symbol. So note, solid curve is used to draw the parabola whenever the inequality symbol is greater or equal or less than or equal to symbol. Then we have step 4. Identify whether the point from each region satisfies the given quadratic inequality. So we are going to consider first the first region or the region inside the parabola. So inside the parabola, we have point 6, 2, coordinate 6, 2. So we substitute this to the inequality y is less than or equal to the square of x minus 6. Therefore, we have 2 is less than or equal to the square of 6 minus 6. Therefore, we have 2 is less than or equal to 0, which is a false mathematical statement. So since the point 6, 2 did not satisfy the inequality, the entire region containing this point or this ordered pair is not part of the solution, so we do not shade it. So we are going to consider the second region or the region outside the parabola. So consider the origin 0, 0. Substitute this to the inequality y is less than or equal to the square of x minus 6. Therefore, we have 0 is less than or equal to the square of 0 minus 6 squared. Giving us 0 is less than or equal to 36, a true mathematical statement. Since point zero zero did satisfy the inequality, the entire region containing 0, 0, or the region outside the parabola as a part of the solution set. So we shade it. Therefore, we determine the solution set of quadratic inequalities into variables by shading. So the graph will look like this. So since the inequality uses the less than and equal to symbol, the points along the parabola are part of the solution set. We use a solid curve to represent the parabola. So these points, all the points along this parabola are part of the solution set, including all of the points outside the parabola or along the shaded region of our Cartesian plane.
Okay, so now let us graph the solution set of y is less than negative x squared minus 4x. Okay, so what is the first step that we should do in solving this quadratic inequality into variables? Okay, so first, we are going to write the inequality as an equation. So therefore, our y would become equal to negative x squared minus 4x. Okay, the next, what would be our next step? Right, we're going to complete the given table of values. So our given values of x are negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, and 0. So what are we going to do with these values of x is for us to substitute it to the given quadratic inequality that we have turned into an equation. So, ibig sabihin, isa-substitute natin yung negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, and 0, of course, one at a time, to this equation in order for us to solve for the value of y. So, let us have if x is equal to negative 4. So, if x is equal to negative 4, therefore, y would be negative of negative 4 square minus 4 times negative 4. Okay, so therefore we have negative 4 square is positive 16 times negative, so we have negative 16. The negative 4 times negative 4, we have positive 16. So that makes our y equal to 0. So we are going to write 0 here. There we go. Okay, so next, let us have if x is equal to negative 3. Okay, so we have negative of negative 3 square minus 4 times negative 3. So negative of negative 3 square, so that is negative 9. Then negative 4 times negative 3, we have positive 12. Okay, so what is negative 9 plus 12? We have positive 3. Okay, so we are going to write positive 3 here. Gets? Okay, next, let us have if x is equal to negative 2. So if x is equal to negative 2, therefore we have y is equal to negative of negative 2 square minus 4 times negative 2. Okay, so therefore we have negative times negative 2 square. We have, yes, we have negative 4. Then negative 4 times negative 2, we have, yes, we have positive 8. Right? So, what is negative 4 plus 8? We have positive 4. So, we are going to write positive 4 here. Okay, next, if x is equal to -1. So, palitan lang natin yung x natin ng -1. So, if x is equal to -1, so, negative of -1 squared, that is -1. Then, -4 times -1, we have +4. So, what is -1 times, plus rather, 4? Yes, we have +3. So, 3 na ang ilalagay natin doon sa table natin. Okay, and then lastly, if x is equal to 0. So, we are going to replace the x's by 0. So, 0, 0. So, negative 0 square minus 4 times 0, multiplication by 0 is 0. So, therefore, our y is equal to 0. Correct? Yes. So, now that we have already completed our table of values, we can now plot these points. Okay? So, yung mga data na nasa table of values natin will become the ordered pairs that we can use in order to plot the parabola of our solution set or of our quadratic inequality. So, let me erase this one. So, gawa tayo ng Cartesian plane. Okay. So, this will be our x-axis. Then, this one is our y. Okay? So, let us have this as 1, 2, 3. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, we have -5, -4, -3, -2, -1. Of course, this is 0, 1, 2, 3. Tapos sa y-axis natin, let us have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is much better if you are going to make use of your graphing paper pag magra-graph kayo. Whether you are graphing a parabola or a line. Whether you are going to plot a point or whatever that you need to plot. Tandaan nyo lang na yung vertical line natin is our y-axis and our horizontal line is our x-axis. Of course, the intersection between the y and x-axis is called what it is called? It is it is called our origin. So, ang origin, ang ordered pair niya or ang coordinate niya is 0, 0. Okay? So, i-plot natin yung mga points natin. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 ordered pairs. So, the first one is -4, 0. We have -3, +3. We have -2, 4. -1, 3. And we have 0, 0. Okay, so i-plot natin. We have -4, 0. So, we have -4, 0. So, dito pa rin siya. So, dito yung point natin. Next is, we have -3, 3. So, we have -3, +3. So, dito siya sa quadrant na to. Okay, next, we have -2, 4. So, -2, 4. Okay, we have -1, 3. So, -1, 3. Mas maganda talaga pag ang gagamitin ninyo is graphing paper para mas accurate yung pag-draw natin ng graph or pag-plot natin ng mga points. Then, next is 0, 0. So, nasa origin siya. Okay? So, once na na-plot na natin yung points, i-connect na natin ngayon. Since ang inequality symbol na given sa quadratic inequality natin is less than symbol, so take note, if the inequality that is used in a given inequality, quadratic inequality, is less than or greater than symbol, you are going to draw your parabola in dash line. So, dash yung parabola natin. Okay? Dash parabola. While if your inequality that is used is less than or equal or greater than or equal to symbols, you're going to make use of solid parabola. Solid yung parabola natin. So, since less than symbol yun, broken line or dash parabola ang gagamitin natin. Okay. Erase na natin to para makita. Okay? Huwag niyong kalimutang ilagay yung arrowhead pag nagdraw kayo ng parabola dun sa magkabilang dulo to indicate that your parabola goes on. Okay? Para hindi what do you call this? Para i-indicate na yung graph o yung parabola natin goes until pababa, downwards. Okay? It opens, since pababa itong graph natin or yung parabola natin, it indicates, the arrowhead indicates that the parabola goes downward infinitely. Okay? So, since meron na tayong graph, nag-graph na natin yung parabola natin. So, napansin ninyo, na yung Cartesian plane natin is divided into two regions. So, yung unang region, itong region na to, okay, yung region kung saan nasa loob siya ng parabola, while the other one is the outer region, yung nasa labas ng parabola natin. Okay, or yung above the parabola, ito yung below the parabola. Okay? Yung parabola natin, it serves as the boundary line for the solution set later. Okay? So, ang next na gagawin natin is for us to identify a point from each region. So, titignan natin kung yung point na yon, it satisfies the given quadratic inequality. So, kung nasatisfy yung given quadratic inequality, ibig sabihin, that region is a part of this, or that region is a solution set of our quadratic inequality. Otherwise, it is not a part of the solution set. So, since the origin is along the parabola, okay, it is on the borderline. So, mag-choose na lang tayo kahit alin ditong point dito, saka dito. So, it's up to you. Kasi kahit na isa lang namang point ang kukunin natin, kahit saang region, madidetermine na natin kaagad kung saan ba yung graph nung solution set natin. Kung saang region manggagaling yung solution set natin. So, kunin na lang natin itong point na to. Let us have this point as our test point. So, ano ang coordinate ng point na ito? We have negative 2, 0. Okay? So, if our point is at negative 2, 0, so, isubstitute natin etong point na to, yung coordinate natin doon sa quadratic inequality. So, our quadratic inequality is y is less than negative x squared minus 4 times x. So, ito yung x, ito naman yung y. So, therefore, you have 0 is less than negative of negative 2 square minus 4 times negative 2. Okay? So, bring down natin si 0. So, negative of negative 2 square. So, that is, yes, we have negative 4. Then, negative 4 times negative 2, we have positive 8. So, therefore, 0 is less than or less than negative 4 plus 8. What is negative 4 plus 8? We have positive 4. Is our resulting quadratic inequality true statement or a false statement? Yes, it is true because 0 is less than 4. So, since this is a true mathematical statement or true quadratic inequality, ibig sabihin, isi-shade natin itong region na to. Kasi dito galing yung dito galing yung point na kinuha natin as our test point. So, this means, so isi-shade natin yan. This will be our shaded region. Ibig sabihin, yung shaded region, that is the solution set of our quadratic inequality. This is the graph of our quadratic inequality. Yung broken line, it means na hindi kasama yung mga points along the parabola. Hindi kasama sa solution set yung parabola natin. Okay? Yung mga points along the parabola rather. So, take note, pag dash yung parabola natin, ibig sabihin, yung mga points along the parabola are not part of the solution set. Ang solution set lang, ang parts lang ng solution set, yung mga points na nasa shaded region, included sa shaded region. Pero all the other points na nasa labas ng parabola natin, yung unshaded region sa Cartesian plane natin, including the points along the parabola, are not part of the solution set. Okay? Okay, so now let us try to have another quadratic inequality. Okay, so let us graph y is greater or equal to the square of x minus 2 plus 1. Okay, so again, what is our first step? Yes, our first step is to write the inequality as an equation. So we are going to change y is greater than or equal to the square of x minus 2 plus 1 into, what will be our equation? It would be, yes, y is equal to the square of x minus 2 plus 1. What is our second step? Yes, we are going to complete the given table of values. So our values of x are 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we are going to determine the corresponding y values. So if x is 0, what would be our y? We have, oh, this must be squared. What would be? Okay, let's check. So 0 minus 2, wait. We have y is equal to the square of 0 minus 2 plus 1. So 0 minus 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 square is, yes, positive 4. So that is 4 plus 1. So therefore, our y is, yes, 5. Okay? If x is 1, what would be our y? Let's see. So we have 1 plus, or 1 minus rather, 2 square plus 1. So 1 minus 2, yes, we have negative 1. So negative 1 square is positive 1. So, plus 1. So, therefore, our y is 2. Okay. Next, if x is equal to 2, our y would be, yes, we have 2 minus 2 square plus 1. So, 2 minus 2, yes, 0, of course. 0 square is, yes, 0. So, 0 plus 1, your y would be, yes, 1. Okay, next, if x is 3, so if x is 3, y would be 3 minus 2 square plus 1. So, 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 square, 1, syempre. So, 1 plus 1, 2. If x is 4, last, our y would be 5. Is it correct? Okay, check natin. So, we have 4 minus 2 square plus 1. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 square is 4 plus 1. So, we have 5. So, sulat natin yung mga values ng y according to their pairs. So, we have, if x is 0, our y is 5. If x is 1, our y is 2. If x is 2, our y is 1. And if x is 3, our y is 2. And if x is 4, our y is 5. So, we have already completed our table. Since meron na tayong table, meron na rin tayong, ibig sabihin, meron na tayong ordered pairs. So, we have 5 ordered pairs. We have 0, 5, 1, 2. What is our third ordered pair? Yes, we have 2, 1. What else? We have 3, 2. And 4, 5. Okay, so again, after completing the table and determining the ordered pairs, we can now plot it in the Cartesian plane. So, yeah. Lipat natin yung y-axis natin. Lagay natin dito. Kasi wala tayong values ng x na negative. So, dito si 0, of course. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dagdagan natin ng isa, 6. Okay? So, sa y-axis naman, gawa ulit tayong interval. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so plot natin yung points. So, we have the first one, 0, 5. So, 0 yung x-coordinate niya. Then, 5 yung y-coordinate. So, andito yung point natin. Next, 1, 2. So, 1, 2. That is our second point. Next, 2, 1. So, 2 yung x-coordinate. Then, our y is 1. So, andito siya. Then, the fourth one, 3, 2. So, 3, 2. So, approximately nandito. Then, we have 4, 5. 4. Tapos, ayan. So, approximately, andyan yung points natin. So, like I have said earlier, pag ang inequality symbol na ginamit is greater than or equal or less than or equal to symbol, ano yung graph natin? What will be the parabola? Our parabola will be drawn using a solid line. So, i-connect natin yan. Yung parabola natin would be a solid parabola. Hindi na siya dash. Okay? So, again, lagyan natin ng arrowhead yung parabola natin dun sa magkabilang end to indicate that our parabola, since it opens upward, goes upward indefinitely. So, ibig din sabihin nito, since solid yung parabola natin, eto, lahat ng points along the parabola will be part of our solution set. Okay? So, i-determine na lang natin kung ang shaded area ba, ito, yung above the parabola or below the parabola, o yung nasa interior ba ng parabola o yung nasa exterior ng parabola. Okay? So, kukuha tayo ngayon ng test point natin. So, kunin natin yung test point dito, our origin. Let us use the origin as our test point. So, ano yung coordinate ng origin natin? We have 0, 0. So, yung test point is at origin or at 0, 0. Okay? So, y is greater or equal to the square of x minus 2 plus 1. Of course, mag-check na tayo kung part ba ng solution set o hindi yung test point natin, yung kinuha nating representative from a certain region of our Cartesian plane. Kailangan ang gagamitin nating equation, yung mathematical statement should be the quadratic inequality, hindi yung na-transform na quadratic equation. So, we are going to replace x and y doon sa inequality natin. So, yung first number sa ordered pair, yun yung x. Tapos, yung second number will be our y. So, we have 0 is greater or equal to 0 minus 2 square plus 1. So, copy down 0. So, 0 minus 2 square. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. So, what is negative 2 square? We have 4. So, 4 plus 1, we have 5. Is 0 greater or equal to 5? Is this a true mathematical statement? Yes, it is false because 0 is less than 5. So, this one is false. Since false, yung lumabas na quadratic, yung statement, yung lumabas na quadratic inequality statement, ibig sabihin, any other points that would represent the exterior of our parabola, okay, lahat ng mga to, nasa labas ng parabola natin, are not part of the solution set. Since false yan, ibig sabihin, ito ang shaded part natin. Isi-shade natin ito. Okay? Isi-shade natin yan. Ibig sabihin lang nito, lahat ng points na nasa interior or above our parabola, okay, extend natin. Yan. Okay. Lahat ng mga to, lahat ng points na nandito sa shaded region are part of our solution set, including the points along our parabola. So, lahat yan part ng solution set. Hindi kasama sa solution set ng quadratic inequality natin lahat ng mga points na nasa labas ng parabola, yung unshaded region sa Cartesian plane natin, hindi kasama sa solution set ng quadratic inequality natin na y is greater or equal to the square of x minus 2 plus 1. Okay? Okay.
So now let us do the activity. Find the solution set of the given quadratic inequality in two variables. So before you proceed with the video, kindly pause this part so that you will be able to solve, and you are given, let us say, you're given 10 minutes. Is it enough? Okay, so you're given 10 minutes to find the solution set of these four quadratic inequalities. Okay, you may start. Assume you are done with the solution set. So kindly refer to this portion for the answers for the given quadratic inequalities. So have you shaded the correct solution set for the quadratic inequality? Are your graph correct? Well done. So that ends our lesson for today. Thank you and God bless. So